beautiful artists. So I was asked to paint some zinnias, and to be honest, I kind of thought, oh, another daisy, I don't know. But you know what? These were really fun. I had so much fun with these. So I'm kind of excited to share these with you today. And these are my practice ones I did. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my, if you don't need to know what supplies I use, just fast forward a bit. But, oh, I will tell you today, I actually was sent these, so that was kind of fun. These are some paints by Lightwish. They're 88 colors. You get not only the regular pigments, but you also get some metallics, you get some neons, you get all kinds of different colors. So I think they're kind of cool, and let's go ahead and I'm going to play with them a little bit and I'll tell you what I think. So I will be using my Artisto paper, as you know I love, and I will be labeling this one pretty soon because I'm almost into my February one. These are great for beginners. If you actually, I have some people write me and they want the 100% cotton, but let me just tell you, this stuff is great. It's got a fabulous texture. It does really well with water. And I also like, because quite often I will gift these. So they have a perforation here. And mostly I have stacks and stacks of these that I save. And they have my different months, different flowers, different things I teach. So I really like those. I've got my, make sure you have your clean, your wash water, your rinse water, and this is my beautiful Meeden palette that, you know, I love. I love the Meeden products. That's actually what that 100% cotton paper is too. And let's go ahead and get started. So again, I'm going to paint zinnias, and I'm going to be using this Lightwish set, and we'll kind of see what we think here. I know right off the bat, one of the things I'm a little not so sure about is just, it doesn't have an actual cover. It does have this plastic that fits over it, which is fine. And then it has this cardboard over it. So, you know, I don't know if that's important to you, but let's go ahead and take the palette out. I'm assuming this is to kind of mix colors in. I'm going to actually use my ceramic palette. So I'm taking this out of the box. What I do like right away, it has a really vibrant color range. If you have a small studio space, this probably is perfect because you get your metallics, you get your neons, you've got your regular vibrant colors, and they look really bright. So I do like that because if you're looking to save space, I think it's a good option for you. So let me just grab a palette here and we will get started, and I'll let you know what I think of these. Let me grab a palette. Hold on, friends. Okay, I've got a palette here I'm going to use. Before you all ask me, I'm not affiliated with her. This is Miss Ceramics. Love her palette. She makes these all custom for me. Okay, so what I'm going to start with first is just spray them and kind of get them activated and ready. I'm going to swatch out a few of these too so you can kind of see. They look really intense in colors. I will tell you the pans are a little bit small. That's not a pro or a con. I think it's great for saving space on your work area if you don't have a large area to work from. And today I happen to be using the Princeton Neptune number 8 round. Always love my 8 round. Use whatever round brush you've got if you want to follow along with me here. I'm always sharing these Dugatos for the student because you get a whole set for like $11, which I think is really great if you're not ready to invest in the Princeton series here. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to swatch out a few of these here. This is what I'm going to paint. And let's just see what these colors look like. So let's go for, here's like a bright pink. Ooh, that's pretty. This actually reminds me of when I have mixed Opera Rose with maybe a little bit of white gouache. and it has that kind of pastel-y color. This one too. This one's a little bit pinker. So that's pretty. I like those pinks. As you know, I love my pinks. Here's a pretty purple. I kind of like that. And I'm just going to see how they do. Let's go in and just blend a little bit. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of blue to this. Ooh, they're actually blending pretty well. Just going to move that through. Yeah, I think that does really well. By the way, I love that blue color. Let's go in that with a tiny bit of orange. As you know, I love my orange and pink. So these blend pretty well. I like that. Let's see, let's test out the transparency. Let me get some of this on. The one thing I noticed right away, and that's probably just me, I would try and travel with these because I could have a huge variety of pigments and in somewhat of a small palette that's easy to pack. But one thing I will notice is I can be kind of a crazy, messy painter, and I could see me getting these mixed up because they're smaller pans. But that's just me. That may be fine for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to see how light I can get this. So I do like that transparency. Yeah, that's really pretty. And I actually love the colors. And colors are really intense. They're blending really smoothly, which I love the wet and wet. So I like that they're blending really nice. Let's see what else here. Let's see what other, I use a lot. Let's try out some of the metallics here, and then we'll go ahead and get painting. So here's a metallic green. Ooh, I like that. Really interesting colors, you guys. And I do love that they have a lot of interesting colors, because when I'm painting day to day, here's their olive green, which actually looks a little grayish. When I'm painting day to day, I don't like to take a lot of time mixing. And look at how beautiful these colors are mixing together. Some really fun, interesting colors. I like that. Let's try out their gold. As you know, I love my metallics. Gorgeous. Love the gold, you guys. Let's see, let's try this bronze color, which I don't think I have that in any of my other palettes. So Lightwish did really well here with these colors. I love the colors. Before I start with the zinnias, let's just try out, ooh, and interesting, they have a gray here. This almost looks like a little bit of a blue gray, which it is. Love that color. So I'll tell you right now, one of the things I'm appreciating about this palette is it's got some really interesting colors. I could have a lot of fun with that. And they're very creamy, yet they're transparent. You maybe can't tell from here, but look at the transparency and the luminosity. The white of the page is coming through. So I am liking that. Let's try the neons, which, you know, I've never used neon paints, but wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. I could see gifting this to kids and they would love these colors, you guys. Let's try the orange neon. Oh my gosh. Those look like they're literally lit up. And look how beautiful that mixed together. Okay, you guys, if you want a fun paint set, I think you could have a lot of fun with this paint set. So many different colors. Wow, this is fun. Okay. It's a really great too, by the way. It's got a really competitive price point when you can pair it to kind of some other watercolor sets on the market. I think it's a great value for the money. You really get a lot of colors here. Kind of want to swatch out this blue here. Sorry for that camera shake. What I'm really loving most of all, I think, is just these interesting colors they've put together here. That's a metallic. Yeah, you know, I've had this sitting here for several months and I think I may be using this. Let's check out the red. Ooh, nice red. That looks like a cad red there. Yeah, they even have a flesh color. Let's see what that is. That's beautiful too. And I could see mixing that with maybe some pink. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, that's a peony right there. Look how beautiful. Yeah, the more I'm sitting here playing with this, I'm really liking this. Well, let's go ahead and do a few, look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a pale peach, whoops, rose here. And look at that. Gorgeous, you guys. And that was so easy to create from this palette. So I think you really could have a lot of fun with this palette. It's got a lot of really fun colors. Let's draw a couple. Let's see. Let's do 3 zinnias. So I'm just going to create my center, center, center. And then, as you know, I'm always using my guidelines. Otherwise, my petals might get a little wonky. So there we go. And I'm going to make these quite large. I kind of want to make them almost take up the whole page, but let's see how we do here. Okay, so I've got my 3 zinnias. And we're going to be making them like these colors, but you know what? Now that I have kind of this fabulous palette, this could be really fun. Let's see what kind of colors we could come up with here. Let's see. Let's start in the middle of our zinnia. I'm going to use, wow, so many fun colors here. I'm not even sure what to use. I'm just going to go for the brown, actually. This looks like a dark, maybe a Van Dyke brown. You guys, I'm going to be playing with this when I get off here. So glad I opened this today. So I'm just making little dots on the inside here, and I'll look for a link for these for you for Amazon. So I've got that. Now I'm going to go right into, let's see, I really liked these colors of zinnias I did. So I'm going to start with, I think with the pink. Let me pull out my palette here and see. Yep, that's the pink I want. I'm using the little pastel pink here. Let me see what that bright pink looks like too. Yeah, I think I actually want the bright pink. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, let's go in. And I'm just using the tip of my brush mostly in this painting, and I'm going to be doing wet on dry. So I have some control here. I will touch into the wet center so I get a little bit of a spread and blend there. So tip of my brush, light pressure. The zinnias I looked up have this really cool, funky edge like that. And as you can see here, leave that white space, guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a little bit of that more pastel pink and come down here. Again, leaving that white space. So I'm just using the tip of my brush. Now what I'm going to do is just rinse my brush a tiny bit so I've got a lighter value. And let's go. Now as you can see there, I've got that beautiful blend of the center that kind of went in. Let's see if we can add a tiny bit of yellow to that. See what we get there. I'm all about mixing the colors, you guys. I tell you all the time, I kind of make my own flowers sometimes. Let's add some more of that pink. There we go. Another one here. That kind of deckled edge. And I'm just lightly using the tip of my brush. Now, here I've got quite a bit of blend of the brown. If you don't like that, it doesn't bother me. I actually like that, but you can pick that up. Just rinse, wash your brush, and use a thirsty brush and just pick that up. So I'm gonna go in again with some of the pink off the palette. I really am liking these colors. They're really soft and nice. And create the other side here. And I'm trying to vary some of my colors so that I get a good mix here. I'm really playing with mixing orange, some orange and yellow and the pink, so I get a nice variety. I'm gonna lighten the value a little bit, which just means a little bit more water, and go in, leaving that white space. Now what I'll probably do as well is once this dries, I'll go in and add a few more petals in between. So right now I'm going to go to the second zinnia here because the zinnias are solid, but I'm gonna let this dry just a bit. So I'm gonna go into this one and let's see, gosh, you guys, I'm really tempted to use the neon, but I don't know how that might look. So let me put some of that yellow, some of that orange. There we go. Get some of those colors right next to each other. And let's go into this one here using the tip of my brush, light pressure. Look how fun these are. This would be such a beautiful, colorful card to send somebody. And just following my guidelines, trying to leave some of that. Oh, you know, I actually forgot my center, didn't I? Let's go in and do that. There we go. So I'm going to go back and just add in that center, which I used this dark brown in the palette here. And just dot in. Now that's going to spread, as you see. If you think you might have a little tiny bit too much, meaning just a little tiny bit too much water, just tap it off. Get some of that water out. There we go. But you know, you guys, I love the blend. I love that flow. That's what watercolors is all about for me. Let's come out here. So this is a little bit yellow. A little bit more orange I might add in there. There we go. Come out here. And again, I will add some petals in between. But I think this is really fun. Yeah, maybe I'm adding in a tiny bit of pink to these. Let's come out here. I'm so glad one of you told me about these flowers and I thought, oh, I don't think I've ever painted a zinnia. So that was fun. You guys always bring really fun stuff to me. So just resting my palm of my hand and leaving the white space in there because that creates a lot of fun interest. I'm going to pick up a little bit more orange. I want and look at the beautiful blend from the center. That's what I love, you guys. If you don't like that, just wash and rinse your brush, tap it off. So it's a thirsty brush. It's just barely damp. And you can just go in and pick that up. But I really appreciate that. That's one of the things I just love about watercolors is I can get that look. So for me, when I get that, I leave it. Let's go in here. Now this one is a little bit oranger. That's fine. A little bit darker. Going into some of these while they're still wet. There we go. And then I'm just going to leave that And look at these beautiful blends I'm getting though. Look at all the beautiful blends and flows, really pretty. Our last one here, let's see, what did I do here? I kind of went in with a pinkish reddish, maybe like this. So let's go ahead and do that. I will this time do the center first. So pick up some of that brown. And I've got about 50 water, 50 pigment here. You can put it on your palette, just making sure it moves around with ease like that. If you think you have too much, tap it off on your tissue and get rid of that excess water. And then let's just go in, use very light pressure. You don't want any puddles here. So if you have some puddles, just stop and tap off on your tissue. And now we're going to go in with a little bit more of a reddish, orangish. So I think I'll pick this up. Let's see what color. I think I want the red actually. I'm gonna put that, yeah, that's pretty. Gosh, their colors really are pretty. Really vibrant, very vibrant. And let's go in here and add that in. Again, leave the white space. And I was hoping these would kind of run into each other. I was picturing in my mind they might be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I'm going to do a light value here, a little lighter. There we go. So I just added more water than pigment. Let's do another one here. And I'm touching into that center because I want that brown of the center to kind of blend in. There we go. Maybe we can use a little, we could even add some pink in there. Look at that, that's kind of fun. I love mixing my colors. So this one I'm just gonna tuck a bit behind that petal, leaving that white space. Look how pretty that is. I combined some of that orangey red with the pink. That was kind of fun. Let's do that a little bit more. I actually kind of like that. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Just wetting my brush constantly. I very rarely go directly, hardly ever, from my palette, my paints. So I almost never go directly from here to my paper. I'm always going to my palette, getting that tone, that value, meaning light because it has more water, or darker, it has more pigment. And then I tap off and get rid of any excess water. And then I go into my painting. So hardly ever do I just go straight to my paper, because that would be a really dark value. So that's really pretty. I like that. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more pink here, because I like how the pink is kind of mixing in. And then I'm going to go back into this because I think it's dry. Yes. And I will add in some more petals. And I want to make them different values. So the ones next to it are a little bit lighter. You want to make them different so it's interesting. Let's get a little lighter value, more water. So see, the tone there is a little bit more transparent. There we go. And that one is tucked behind the yellow. Gosh, this paint is really fun, you guys. I think you're gonna like it. It is crazy vibrant. I mean, I'm not even having to load my brush that much, and it is just popping bright. I think If you have grandkids, they'd probably love these colors. There's just so many. I could see them. I know when I was teaching my watercolor classes to kids, they would have gone nuts over those neons. Not sure how I'll use those yet. So let's just add in here. There we go. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. See, that's too much water. I've got some puddles there. You don't want puddles, especially as a beginner. Damp and damp. Just kind of remember that, because wet, if you have a lot of wetness, it's really hard to control, folks. It's so with beginners, I really try to start out with more of just a damp brush, so you can control it more. And I'm just touching in between here. Now, you know I'm wanting to add in some of those metallics, aren't you? As I'm painting here, I'm trying to think how I could add them in, because I just love those. Now I'm going to go in here. This may be a little bit wet, but I'm going to go ahead and go in here and start adding in some more petals, maybe some oranges. I'm pretty much mixing all these colors together, as you can see here, which is really fun to me. I love the more vibrant, and that's one thing I'm actually really liking about these paints, is I'm mixing all these colors together, and they're really quite fun. Just using the tip of my brush. Wow, look at that, guys. Look how bright those are. They're gorgeous. Now let's go in and let's test out some of the greens here. Let's see. They've got this olive green, which is typically my go-to green. I like olive green. Interestingly, they don't have a lot of greens here. Here's some more down here. There we go. So there's an olive green. Let's see what else they got here. This kind of looks like the tree green in the MeiLang palette. So I kind of like that. It's like more of a limey type green. Let's see what green this is. Yeah, I actually like their greens. They're kind of nice. So let's see, which green do I want to use? I think I'm going to go for this one here. I'm going to put it on my palette here. About 50 paint, 50 water. But the important thing here is I'm tapping off my brush. So right now, I don't know if you can see in the camera there, but my brush is pretty loaded. I can see how fat the belly of the brush is. So I want to get rid of a little bit of that liquid. And I'm just going to tap off there. All right. And then go into, again, resting my palm and going to go in with the tip of my brush and create some little leaves coming out. I think I will pick up some of that darker green. Now, I'm not sure what green this is I have on my, oh, there you go. I just kind of tapped in there. There you go. Let's do some more here. Create some down here. Just some tip of my brush, little lines, little dabs. I always like to add those in. I think those are fun, little fillers, and they're easy. Maybe add some over here and try and vary your values. So these are kind of medium values. Let's do a dark value there. We could maybe even add in a couple dark values here and there. But look how easy, just using the tip of the brush, to create some of these little lines. Maybe one coming out here, just point, press, dabs. There we go. So I think this is really pretty. I hope you guys will give this a try. And I have to tell you, I really like this palette. I think it's a lot of fun. And again, if you have a small workspace, this is perfect because look at all the colors. And by the way, they also give you this water brush. See if I can get it out of here. They give you, I can't get it out of there because I'm not holding my palette right, but they give you a water brush. And I don't use those a whole lot. I use them more when I'm hiking and I just want to have my water in the brush. So I do that. So that's kind of handy. I think you might like that. But great price point. It's portable, it's compact. So, you know, I think the design is great for that mobility of traveling and things. It's kind of compact. You could pack this really easily. The only thing to keep in mind is it doesn't really have a cover. It did come with this plastic cover, which you could set over. And then it did come in this cardboard box, but I could see me getting this kind of messed up. If you're more careful than me, that might be fine. So I do like the portability. It blended really smooth. It had a lot of fun shades, you guys. If you like exploring paints in different shades, I think you will love this set. The price point is great and really intense colors, really highly pigmented. I like that. Yet you could, I was also able to get, you know, these beautiful light values. So there you go. I hope you give these zinnias a try. I think they were really fun, and make them all these bright colors. All right, you can leave me any thoughts if you want to suggest something. I love your ideas for painting, and I will share, I'll get all my links for you and share what I used here in this tutorial. All right, thanks for being here with me. I love our little community. You guys are the best. You're so inspiring, and sometimes I just can't believe you're beginners. You send me your work and they're just fantastic. So let's keep playing, let's keep painting together. I'll see you soon.